Pendengar dan pemirsa RRI, saat ini saya Retno Mandasari sudah bersama Duta Besar Kazakhstan untuk Indonesia, Bapak Serzan Abdykarimov. Selamat pagi, Pak Serzan. Good morning.
Selamat pagi yang terhormat Miseno, saudara-saudara sekalian. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Apa kabar Pak hari ini?
Ya, baik, terima kasih.
Thank you, Ambassador, for achieving us here today. I know you're busy. But we have some time to talk about Kazakhstan and, of course, bilateral relations with Indonesia. The first thing I would like to know is, how do you see the Kazakhstan as a strategic position in the Muslim world? Like, could you give us a brief overview as the country?
Yes, I would like to thank you, Ms. Enna, for your interest in Kazakhstan and for inviting me to this interesting interview. First of all, I would like to start by saying that Kazakhstan is the 9th biggest territory in the world, stands as the largest country by territory with the Muslim majority population. Indeed, Kazakhstan holds a strategic position in the Muslim world due to its size and geographical location connecting Europe, Asia, and Middle East. Our country is the largest part of the Islamic world. Over 70% of our populations are Muslims. 30 years ago, we joined the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. Within this prestigious forum, we initiated the establishment of Islamic Organization for Food Security. Today, Kazakhstan, with its rich Islamic heritage and active involvement in the OIC, demonstrates its commitments to the Islamic world and contributes a lot to the organization's goals and for fostering solidarity and development. By engaging with the Muslim world, Kazakhstan has diversified its foreign policy, which also includes a strategic partnership with China, Russia, United States, European Union, Latin America, and African countries, and worldwide. We conduct free, active, and peace-loving foreign policy, which is guided by the United Nations principles of respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity, non-interference, peaceful dispute resolution, multilateralism, non-proliferation, and interreligious dialogue. Kazakhstan is very rich in natural resources, including oil, gas, uranium, coal, copper, many metals, and rare earth critical minerals. We have more than 5,000 mineral deposits with a total value of $46 trillion. My country is widely recognized as an economic leader and best investment and business destination in our region. We became a pivotal hub for trade and logistics in Eurasia between East and West, North and South, fostering economic growth and integration within our neighborhood and beyond. That's in brief.
Okay, so if we're talking about the economy sector, could you please elaborate or tell us about what are exactly what economic and strategies of your country in this challenging world, sir?
Yes, today Kazakhstan is pursuing a range of economic strategies which are centered on attracting foreign investment, diversification, innovation, digitalization, transport connectivity, and regional cooperation. Kazakhstan reduces its reliance on raw material exports by diversifying its economy in manufacturing, agro-industrial complex, transport and logistics, tourism, and digitalization to secure its long-term resilience. Thus, on September 8th this year, the President of Kazakhstan, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, delivered his annual State of the Nation address titled Kazakhstan in the Era of Artificial Intelligence, Key Tasks and Their Solutions Through Digital Transformation. The president directed the government to ensure total integration of artificial intelligence into all sectors of the economy. He called for rapid adoption of a comprehensive digital code covering artificial intelligence, big data, and the platform economy. He announced the creation of the Ministry of Artificial Intelligence and Digital Development, ordered a fundamental renewal of the investment attraction system, and the establishment of a state digital assets fund. In transport and logistics, he instructed the government to integrate North-South, East-West, Belt and Road Initiative, and Trans-Caspian routes into one system to increase revenues and jobs, as well as to create national cargo carrier and integrate new airports into global logistic chains. In agriculture and food security, for example, President instructed to continue to develop agro-hubs, logistic centers, and livestock programs to ensure meat sufficiency and boost exports, as well as to expand satellite monitoring with artificial intelligence for farmland and forestry. In tourism, he stressed that tourism should be the permanent priority for all province authorities, and to develop modern ski and infrastructure in our former capital, Almaty city, turning resorts into a national brand. In healthcare system, President instructed to commission new hospitals without delays and expand PPP in healthcare system, expand domestic pharmaceutical production as a strategic priority, as well as to introduce artificial intelligence-based system to monitor healthcare quality and volume. One of the important reform on the political front, President proposed transitioning to a unicameral parliament through a nationwide referendum in 2027. Now we have two chambers of the parliament, which is Senate, is a upper house, and the lower house of the parliament. So he proposed to establish a unicameral parliament. He also emphasized the need to ensure fair wages for workers, transform Kazakhstan into the leading aviation hub in Eurasia, and pursue public sector reform to reduce the state footprint in the economy. In general, Kazakhstan economic strategies reflect its ambition to become a competitive, innovative, driven, and sustainable economy. By diversifying its industries, investing in digital and green technologies, and enhancing its regional connectivity, our country is positioning itself as a key player in the Eurasian region amidst a changing world global order.
Excellency, if we are talking about the bilateral relations between Indonesia and Kazakhstan, we know that the two countries have the tie is very well, very good. But I'm wondering how the current situation of these good relations so far, and what do you think about which sector that needs to be enhanced?
Last June, we celebrated 32nd anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations. Over the past 3 decades, our relationship has grown into the dynamic partnership built on mutual trust and shared values. Our two countries have exchanged high-level visits, opened embassies, exchange regular interparliamentary and interagency dialogue, business, tourism, and people-to-people ties. For the first time, we established a sister city partnership between our capital Astana and future capital of Indonesia, Nusantara. We place significant importance and emphasis on fostering trade, investment, and economic ties with Indonesia. Last year, our trade turnover surpassed 300 millions of US dollars. This year, it's already in January, June, increased by 125% and fixed at 150 millions. That's a very positive trend.
Yeah.
And I believe that soon we will be able to sign the free trade agreement between Indonesia and Eurasian Economic Union, which will strengthen our trade ties. Also, we finalized the bilateral investment treaty, which will serve as a platform for expanding our investment ties also. We have a big potential and untapped potential to expand cooperation in energy and mining sectors, transport and logistics, agriculture and food security, manufacturing, textiles, Islam banking, digital economy, education and tourism. We also have a big potential to cooperate in halal industry, such as food and beverages, pharmaceutical and traditional medicine, cosmetics and lifestyle, textiles and other products. Mutual recognition of halal standards would facilitate the easier and wider penetration of goods between our two countries. We also aim to collaborate with Indonesian banks by integrating its expertise in Islamic finance into the operation of the Astana International Financial Center. This partnership seeks to combine Kazakhstan's robust financial framework with Indonesia's well-established capabilities in Islamic finance. And also, I would like to say that we are happy to see the rise in our tourist and educational exchanges. In 2023, about 9,000 of Kazakhstan tourists visited Indonesia, in particular Bali and other islands. Last year, this figure was doubled and it was fixed at 20,000 of our tourists coming to Indonesia. We also see the rise of Indonesian tourists come to Kazakhstan, and we are very happy. And in the educational exchange, in the last years, about 100 Kazakh students study in the best Indonesian universities, and about 70 Indonesian students study in the best Kazakh universities. So this is a very promising areas of our cooperation.
Excellency, if we talk specifically about two countries as the Muslim countries, has there been any program or any program to strengthen the bilateral relation in terms of the religions?
I would like to say that Kazakhstan is a home to more than 120 ethnic groups and 18 confessions in my country. So we are a very diverse society, as Indonesia, for example, having 300 ethnic groups, 700 languages and 6 religions. And we also contribute a lot to strengthen interreligious dialogue on a global scale. For example, our government actively promotes internal peace and dialogue by establishing the Assembly of People of Kazakhstan, which unites various ethnic groups in our society. As a foreign policy priority, Kazakhstan hosts the Congress of Leaders of World and Traditional Religions. And the Congress, first convened in 2003, third year, aims to build peace and harmony on a global scale, promoting mutual respect between different faiths and prevent the misuse of religious sentiments to fuel conflicts. It brings together leaders of world and traditional religions, as well as influential political figures and international organizations. The Congress serves as a platform for dialogue, leading to declaration of principles for interreligious understanding and providing a space for constructive solutions to global challenges. Thus, last week, on 16th and 19th of September, we hosted the 8th Congress of Leaders of World and Traditional Religions in our capital, Astana. Spiritual leaders from 60 countries took part in this event, including the Vice General Chairman of Majlis Ulama Indonesia, Dr. Anwar Abbas, who presented the position and priorities of Indonesia on the acute religious issues. So, serving as a global hub for interfaith dialogue, we highlight our own domestic experience with religious harmony and promoting worldwide shared values like spirituality, justice, and trust.
So yeah, of course, this is kind of the information that we know Kazakhstan, just like Indonesia, very diverse into religions or maybe ethnicity. But I'm wondering, Excellency, what is actually the contribution of that special situation in your country? Yeah, especially for the internal and international interreligious dialogue, maybe?
Yes, as I mentioned just now, during this Congress on the sidelines, Vice General Chairman of Majlis Ulama Indonesia, Dr. Anwar Abbas, met the Grand Mufti of Kazakhstan, Nauruzbay Haji, and discussed the prospects of cooperation between our two Muslim communities. Two spiritual leaders signed an agreement on cooperation which covers different areas, including exchange of experience between scholars, Muslim intellectuals, women leaders and youth, joint scientific research and publication, and preventing radicalism and extremism. It's the first legal framework which I believe will significantly promote the development of close cooperation between Muslim communities of Kazakhstan and Indonesia.
So if we jump on the ballot again of the bilateral relations with Indonesia, are there any plans of the visiting of the high level?
Yes, we plan such visits. I would like to advise you that our first president of Kazakhstan visited Indonesia twice on state visits in 1995 and 2012. And then two Indonesian presidents visited Kazakhstan. President Suharto, he visited in Kazakhstan in 1995, and His Excellency President Yudhoyono in 2013. So, bearing in mind the election of His Excellency President Prabowo Subianto as the new President of Indonesia, also bearing in mind the 12 years gap after the last presidential visit, and to further enhance our bilateral cooperation, our President of Kazakhstan, His Excellency Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, last June has officially invited President Prabowo Subianto to visit Kazakhstan with the state visit. I also would like to tell you that our Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Kazakhstan, Mr. Murat Nurtlev, also invited his counterpart, His Excellency Minister Sugiono, to visit Kazakhstan this year. So today we are working on the substance and on the dates of these visits, which I believe will be held later this or next year. During these trips, we plan to discuss a range of political, economic, and cultural issues, as well as to hold business forums and sign a number of important documents in different spheres. I believe that their results will give a strong impetus to the further development of our all-round cooperation.
Mr. Ambassador, you've mentioned a lot about your country, about the bilateral relations with Indonesia, but is there anything that Indonesians should know about Kazakhstan?
Of course, I must admit that Kazakhstan is still terra incognita in the wider Indonesian society. That's why we convened some events, like last Saturday we demonstrated our historical drama, The Dawn of the Great Steppe, which highlights the nomadic Kazakh history, its people, its culture, and many other aspects. And of course, I want friendly Indonesian people and youngsters to know better my beautiful country, Kazakhstan. You know that our region, Central Asia, is becoming a space for new economic opportunities in trade, investment, science, and innovation. And I would like also to say that Kazakhstan and Indonesia have many similarities in common. As we stand the largest country in the world in its territory with a majority Muslim population, Indonesia stands at the biggest country with majority Muslim population in the world. Both nations are economic leaders in their regions, Kazakhstan being a central figure in Central Asia, while Indonesia in Southeast Asia and ASEAN. Our historical narratives have unique parallel. For example, Kazakhstan known for its legacy as steppe nomads, and Indonesia as sea nomads, with its rich history and across its sprawling archipelago of more than 17,000 islands. Two languages of Kazakhstan and Bahasa Indonesia also share a linguistic bond with over 800 loanwords from Arabic, like Aulia, Dunia, Resmi, Zaman, Hewan, Kuat, even Sabun. Yeah. If you know, for example, that Kazakhstan is the birthplace of modern apples and tulips, or that for the first time the domestication of horses took place on the territory of modern Kazakhstan. Yeah. Our nature is also amazing. The flora and fauna are represented by various species of unique animals and plants, many of which are entered to the Red Book. Kazakhstan is a home to 10 nature reserves and national parks, as well as unique tourist destinations. For Indonesians people, Kazakhstan introduced a free visa regime for 30 days. So every citizen of Indonesia just can buy a ticket and fly freely to my country of the Great Steppe. I would like to invite you all and our friends to visit Kazakhstan and to explore its unique nature and culture and cuisine.
Mr. Ambassador, before we're closing, do you have something to add, maybe?
Yes, I would like to thank you for our long-lasting partnership with Radio Republik Indonesia. And of course, I will be happy to continue our interviews to raise acknowledgement of Kazakhstan in a wider Indonesian society. And we will try to do our utmost to enhance our bilateral political and economic cooperation in the years ahead for the best interest of our two friendly nations. Terima kasih banyak.
Terima kasih, Bapak. Demikian pendengar dan juga pemirsa RRI, wawancara saya bersama Duta Besar Kazakhstan untuk Indonesia, Bapak Serzan Abdykarimov di Kedutaan Besar Kazakhstan di Jakarta. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih banyak.
Terima kasih, Bapak.
Terima kasih.